Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brandin and this is Critical Failure. So, we finished the standard bestiary of Mordecai's Tome of Foes so far up until we got to the Demon Lords. And thankfully, we actually got to it. The first Demon Lord in Mordecai's Tome of Foes that you will see is Baphomet. A 20-foot tall, I thought he stood taller than that, with 6 iron horns, a fiery gaze that is within his eyes, and a savage bloodlust that is matched with a severe intellect for wanting to destroy the standards of society. This beast just is terrifying. Like, if I can just actually zoom this out to where it might fit on screen. This thing is, like, terrifying. I would say that it's probably one of the more terrifying demon lords to even look at. It's a Minotaur, as you see. The Prince of Beasts. It wields, I think its name is Heart Cleaver for its weapon. Heart Cleaver. And it's a glaive, pardon me, that fits in his hands. It's terrifying. He also goes by the Horn King and Prince of Beasts. He rules over Minotaurs and other beasts with savage hearts. So any human being, other intellectuals that just simply want to break society and stuff like that, just live out their carnal desires and stuff like that. Cults that are sworn to Baphomet typically use mazes and complex knots as their emblems and create secret places to indulge themselves. So I'm assuming things like murder, torture, even sexual desires, things like that. So I feel like these guys are willing to do anything to break the confines of society. They use blood-stained crowns and weapons of iron and brass to decorate their profane altars. I don't understand brass yet, but once I do more of a deep dive on Baphomet, I will definitely do that. Typically, once they start getting the influence, tainted by the influence of Baphomet, these cultists tend to get blood-stained eyes, coarse and thick fur growing in patches over themselves, and eventually small horns will grow out of their foreheads, but only the best that are blessed by Baphomet will turn into Minotaurs. I think that'd be really cool to play as a cultist of Baphomet that eventually turns into a Minotaur. That'd be pretty cool. So Baphomet's lair is called the Liction, and it's within the abyss under his own lair called the Endless Maze. And he's a dick. Like, whenever you basically are walking around, like, he can seal a doorway within his or other entryway within his lair, and it has to be unoccupied, but it will just be solid stone for a minute or until he creates a thing again. And he can also alter gravity in any specific room of his choosing and just whoop. He typically does this one if he's in the same room, so he can attack flying creatures. So whenever he alters gravity, he'll like turn around and just like land. And it doesn't affect him, but for other things like creatures like humans, elves, and stuff like that that don't know any spells or don't know any have any like flying mechanics, they'll just fucking fall and get hurt. I think that's pretty cool, honestly. This thing is like one of the more terrifying things. One of any area surrounded by Baphomet's influence on the mortal plane. Plant life within a mile grows thick and forms walls of trees, hedges, and other flora. I would say that even the fauna will grow even more. Okay, so this is actually what it is. Typically loses themselves and try to... Okay, I had to reread that. So, in this, it says they become frightened and disoriented and constant under threat of being... and act as if they're under the constant threat of being hunted, might lash out or panic even though there's no visible threat. I would say they will become needlessly hostile, even like attack more likely. I would say get thicker fur, much like the cultists, and even grow horns, and they would become more savage, and even the more docile creatures would attack without an issue. If a humanoid spends at least an hour within a mile of the lair. Must succeed a DC 18 Wisdom Saver, descend into madness, determined by the madness of Baphomet table. If it succeeds, it can't be affected by the regional effects for 24 hours. If Baphomet is defeated, the effects fade over the course of 1d10 days. The madness of Baphomet, the flaws until it's cured. On a D100, 1 through 20 is my anger consumes me. I can't be reasoned with when my rage is stoked. 21 through 40 is I degenerate into a beastly behavior, seeming more like a wild animal than a thinking human being. 41 through 60, the world is my hunting ground, others are my prey. 61 through 80, hate comes easily to me and explodes into rage. 81 through 100, I see those oppose me not as people, but as beasts meant to be preyed upon. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Baphomet's stats. Let's get into this. He's a huge fiend. Holy shit, I thought he'd be like taller than that. Obviously, demon and chaotic evil. He has a natural armor of 22, average hit points of 275, 19d12 plus 152. He has a natural running speed of 40. I would say 50. He has a strength of 30 plus 10. That's extremely high. Dexterity of 14. I would say even higher than that. Like, damn, give him a 22. But he has a plus 2 to that. Constitution of 26 plus 8. Intelligence of 18 plus 4. Wisdom of 24 plus 7. And a charisma of 16 plus 3. His proficient saves are dexterity, which is a plus 9. Constitution of plus 15. And a wisdom of plus 14. His proficient skills are intimidation, plus 17, and perception, plus 14. This thing will intimidate you and probably kill you. Like, he'll probably be standing way over you, and unless you're fearless, like, you're just going to get scared shitless. Like, there's more than likely, even with your highest roll of a critical or a 19, which more than likely you'll probably have plus 6. If he hits anything above 10, you're automatically fucked. His damage immunities are poison and bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing of non-magical weapons. Again, surprised it's not necrotic. Condition immunities, charmed, exhausted, frightened, and poisoned. I would say that he probably would have like a vulnerability to where he takes double damage on radiant damage. His senses are true sight, 120 feet, and passive perception of 24. The languages that he speaks are all, but he has telepathy of on 120 feet. I would assume he sounds very fucking terrifying. Like, I'm imagining like Morgan Freeman sounding demonic and scary as shit. He's a challenge rating 23, and he gives you 50,000 XP. He has an ability called Charge. It says if he moves at least 10 feet forward and towards a target and then hits with a gore attack on the same turn, the target takes an extra 16 3d10 piercing damage. If the target is a creature, must succeed a DC 25 saving throw, be pushed back 10 feet away and knocked prone. He will fuck your ass up if he's like, if he gores you. It's just bam on the ground. Advantage. I would be even more and give them an extra 3d10 damage for you being prone. That's what I would do. Innate spellcasting. Charisma is his spellcasting ability, and it's a DC 18. He can innately cast Detect a Magic with no materials. 3 times a day he can use Dispel Magic. I was reading Dispel and kept trying to say that. Dominate Beast, Hunter's Mark, Maze, and Wall of Stone. And once a day he can use Teleport. I could see him using Teleport real well. Like, when he's starting to lose, he'll just bloop out. He has something called Labyrinthine Recall. Baphomet can perfectly recall any path he has traveled and is immune to the maze spell. That's really useful, because he is a maze. Everything he uses is maze. He has legendary resistance, and that's 3 times a day. If he fails the saving throw, he can obviously pass. He has magic resistance, so any spells and magical effects he has advantage on, and weapons that he picks up are considered magical. He has another ability called Reckless. At the start of his turn, he gains advantage on a melee attack roll during that turn, but the attack roll against him has advantage until the next. But attack rolls against him have advantage until the start of his next turn. Oh, it's all melee weapons, him, and on the next turn, it's all melees against him. So if you have a very good party, you could actually do a lot of damage. He has multi-attack. He can make 3 attacks. One with his Heart Cleaver, one with Bite, and one with his Agora attack. I would say that I always believe that you should be able to use whatever attack you want. I could see him using that gore attack to his advantage, and then using his heart cleaver multiple times, just gore you to the ground, just slash and slash you. Like, he's going to hurt you. Like, there's no way that this is just so lenient. His heart cleaver, it's a melee weapon. It's a plus 17 to hit. Its reach is 15 feet. It's one target. I would say if there's a target behind him, again, do half damage for him. Does average 21, but it's 2d10 plus 10 slashing damage. That seems low, but understandable. He has a bite, which is 17 to hit. It's melee weapons. Reach of 10 feet. It's 19, 2d10, 2d8 plus 10 piercing damage. And then his gore attack. This one I can see only hitting one. It's a melee weapon, plus 17 to hit. Reach 10 feet, one target specific. It's 17 average, 2d6 plus 10 piercing damage. And he has an ability called Frightful Presence. Each creature of Baphomet's choice within 120 feet of him and aware of him must succeed a DC 18 Wisdom saving throw or become frightened for a minute. A frightened creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of its turn, ending the effect on itself on success. These later saves have disadvantage if Baphomet is within line of sight of the creature. If a creature succeeds on any of these saves or the effect ends, the creature is immune to Baphomet's Frightful Presence for the next 24 hours. So if you're fearless, like if you have the forgot the ability with the Blood Hunter tree where you don't become frightened anymore, that's really useful. And you can take 3 legendary actions. Oh, I see it. So you can make he has the Heart Cleaver attack, which is obviously the melee attack that he can use, and then he has Charge, which costs 2 actions, and he moves up to his speed to then makes a gore attack. So basically, you can move up to someone and then hurt someone at the end of anyone's turn. So yeah, that's really useful, and that's Baphomet. That fucker is terrifying. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, Baphomet would scare the shit out of me. Like, 20 feet tall. I am 6'2", okay? I usually make my characters my height. If I see anything 2 times taller than me, I'm already out. Like, that's terrifying to me. If I see something 3 times taller than me, peace. I'm not going to be existing. That's just... You're going to see, like, an outline of me, basically. Like, some cartoon shit where I'm running at the speed of light out of there. Like, I am not doing that. I could have fought the ugliest, most terrifying thing. I could have killed a kraken. I could have killed my worst fear. If I see this damn thing, I'm gone. Like, I'm sorry. Like, anything taller than me is just like, no. Like, I've encountered people taller than me, and that's not usually terrifying. I don't even have to look up that much. I've seen people 7 feet tall, but it's just like, once you hit that threshold, it's like, dude, you're 20 feet tall. Like, calm the fuck down. That's terrifying. My character, if he's a blood hunter, he's going to be like, sitting there and he's like, that glaive is literally the length of my body. Probably more, actually. It's 15 feet to attack, so using, say its arm is like 10 feet, his weapon's probably an extra fucking, I would say 10, but he's holding it by like probably closer to the middle. 15 feet would make sense. That would hurt. Imagine getting hit by that. No thank you. But yeah, this is my episode for yesterday. I felt like shit, so I didn't do anything. I will still be uploading tomorrow once I get off of work. And I'm going to do my guitar videos later today. But thank you guys for watching this video on Baphomet the Demon Lord. So please like and subscribe. I would honestly say that this thing probably has a lot of demons near him. Like, I'm not even lying. Like, an immense amount of demons. So you're probably going to have fun getting murdered by every demon known to man. Like, there's going to be Rudderkin, there's Abyssal Wretches, in the thousands probably. I would say minion system in them, and it's like you're just fucking fireballing and just blowing them up. And I would say, like, specific to the more of the wizards and stuff like that for spellcasters, I understand they have like spell slots, but if you're just using it for minion system and just for the simple fact of being cool, I would just say you don't even use spell slots for attacking minions. It's just boom, boom, you're just obliterating a shit ton of things, and it looks cool and it's fun. Like, honestly, spell slots kind of fucking are bullshit in my opinion, as long as you're not like just spamming the like your highest powered thing like a million times. But yeah, that's Baphomet. I think Demogorgon's next. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I enjoyed actually doing this one. Baphomet and the other demon lords kind of are cool. Can't wait to get to Evil Jello, that is Jublex. But yeah, please leave a like and please subscribe as I bring you more videos on my hopefully more better schedule once I get over being sick. But yeah, thank you for watching. Please watch my other videos as I actually will be putting more stuff out in the next following months. See you guys.